Hello, in this video we're going to have an introduction to the book of James. I'll give you some things that you can look for as you read, and also some things that it maybe would be a good idea to keep in mind as you read. So the book of James is about how God helps us to prove our faith by putting it into action. James was written to encourage and instruct God's scattered people, probably specifically with Jewish Christians in mind. The book of James is all about bringing faith and action together. It gives us a whole lot of concrete ways that we can do that. It covers a pretty good number of topics pretty quickly. A few verses here, move on. Few verses here, move on. The book of James teaches us that faith isn't only in our heads or only in our hearts, but that we show faith by how we live, in our words, in our emotions, in our behaviors. James says that even times of trouble and temptation serve to test and reveal our faith. Now, James is a pretty short book, just 5 chapters, but there are a number of famous passages and verses that you'll encounter as you read. James says that we should consider it pure joy whenever we face trials of many kinds. James says that pure religion is looking after widows and orphans and keeping oneself from being polluted by the world. James talks a while about how faith without deeds is dead. James reflects on the difficulty of taming and controlling our tongues. And he talks about how the prayer of a righteous person is powerful and effective. When we read the book of James, as always, we're pointed to Jesus. We see that Jesus backed up his teaching and trust in God with the things that he did. Jesus put his faith and teaching into action. So what might James mean for us? I think James teaches us that we must live in a way that displays our faith in Christ Jesus. We have to live in a way that matches and proves that we really believe in Jesus. So hopefully this will help you as you read the book of James. As always, if you have questions while you're reading, or if you just have things that you want to talk about that you're learning as you read, please don't hesitate to reach out to me. Enjoy the book of James.